players going into tier 1 for the first time beatdown. Okay, you know what? Story time is over. We'll get into that later. Draft is on our screen. We've blitzed through all 3 bans on both sides, and Jarvan is slammed for Mataz.
Not a whole lot of surprises when we think about picks and bans overall. And of course, the champion shared by Cody and Skyy, the immediate pickup of the Aurora. I like it too because we often see Jarvan paired with something like the Rumble. That does give the option for Shintalx to be able to throw that up on the top side if he really wants to.
We'll see if SolidSnake does commit with the Vi here. Point and click lockdown, always at least a very nice way to coordinate with the team to just say, hey, I'm clicking this guy, go in on this guy, make it simple. And for Estral, by denying the Aurora away as well, could be a solid start for Estral to try and put their best footing forward. Tigres, are they gonna borrow from the disguised playstyle, going for a hyper carry for Virus and just put a lot of trust into him to try and carry out this game? But, you know, the ban or the hover always can get you. It's just a slam with the Galio. And the last time that we saw this matchup between Skyy and Cody in the LRM playoffs, it was a massive CS advantage from Cody. But once again, like we said before, Skyy able to maximize his contributions in team fights.
That's right. And I really like this hover. I kind of would like the Poppy if that ends up going through. A lot of dashes that you could be negating. It would obviously be Poppy support, could be Poppy top, but Shintalx is not, you know, traditionally a top laner until he subbed in for this tournament. That would be amazing if he pulled that off. But instead, it's going to be the Corki. I think something mobile, something DPS oriented, going to be really important into SDM's comp thus far because they are hunting for hit mark.
And for Estral, as you mentioned, the Corki being locked in for Ghost. It's not the longest range marksman in the game, but it is one that Ghost can have a little bit, at least a decent amount of independent agency. He can determine for himself whether a fight looks good or not. Is going to be the game plan for Estral. Something that we've noticed a lot over the course of this tournament is Estral are able to find their most success when it's just full-on dive compositions, because damn to be complex coordination, if all 5 of your champions have the ability to go forward and you find that natural gold lead from your laning prowess and advantages that this Estral roster is expected to get given the pedigree that they have, then bam, you just smork them, right? But going forward through the rest of the bans, Estral trying to eliminate some champions that would have a really easy way of escaping those dive threats.
Yeah, and I like the Alistar look, especially because Estral opted not to respond with their support pick just yet. I wouldn't be surprised. They could actually take out another one, maybe get rid of something like the Braum just to limit Winsome's options a little bit in that bot lane, because there's going to be a couple of ways he might be looking to sort of dissuade that dive that SDM are indexing so heavily into.
What is the answer for Tigres on the last ban? Smolder. Good call. Okay. I like that one. Even though it does sound weird for, hey, why is there Aurora Corki and you're still worried about Smolder? Well, Aurora could have been flexed to Shintal top lane because he does play Aurora from mid lane experience. Corki could have been played for Cody, and then boom, you have a late game win con in Smolder. So good for Tigres doing their homework and just understanding what the flexible options are there for. Rakan going to most likely be locked in, or any support option, so that you can still have your cards hidden on where these two champions are going.
That's right. And we see the hovers. Oh, already a lane dominant response surely from Virus. Hovers Draven, hovers Kalista. But we'll see. Nothing is locked in just yet. I like opting into the Rakan. You want to hide your cards, as you said, Mark. And it does put that onus on SDM to decide what Jauny is going to be playing as well. And kind of gamble, like, am I going to be playing into the Aurora or not?
Yeah, because then you might think to yourself, okay, well, do I want to take a tank option and blind it for the sake of the team? But then if it's something that Shintal can punish or not, that is the question. As Ksante has been one of our go-to tanks that has been looked at a majority of the tournament. Surprised it's not the Scion, but maybe with the Ksante, just a little more flexibility in being able to pull threats away with the team fight, as Estral Esports still have that super overload dive identity on their side so far. Time to see what their final pick is to round out their composition.
Yeah, big question marks on how we're rounding out this comp. Honestly, lacking a little bit in the
no
sort of
way
HP department. What?
Okay, hang on.
So it's Aurora top and Vayne bot, surely, or Vayne mid into the Galio. Oh my God! Wait. Yeah, it's Vayne mid.
Okay, so before the timer hits 0, I'm just gonna also entertain the possibility that Ghost takes the Vayne, and then they do a role swap where they have
It could be.
They have like Cody go with Corki bot lane, and then Shintalx on Aurora go mid, and then Vayne goes top. But if Cody is the one that takes the Vayne, he can either go into the Galio or he can go into the Ksante. Either or is a pretty nice matchup, but at least mid lane, it's a shorter lane, might not be as exposable by the Jarvan to gank him with. Yeah. So, wow. All right, I'm excited already for game 1 beatdown.
Yeah, they're really giving us everything we could hope for and all the spice, because I think it is Vayne mid. It is really nice into the Galio. We've seen Insanity do it in Tier 1 and Tier 2, I believe. Even Jojo Pyun at one point ran this exact matchup. He played Vayne mid. Am I not remembering correctly,
Nope.
Mark?
It was C9 Jojo Pyun playing Vayne mid into Insanity's Sion mid lane.
Yeah. Oh, it was Sion, not Galio. But the idea is the same. I mean, AD is good into Galio. You have the tumble, so you're going to be able to maneuver, dodge the ganks. Should have a pretty decent time dodging things like the Justice Punch too. So I think if anything is going to get a little mixy with the lane assignments early on, it's probably going to be sending Ghost to the top lane, to lane by himself.
Definitely could be. But maybe Estral have had enough time on their hands to drill Shintalx into those top lane matchups. We're about to find out as we hit the riff for game 1 between SDM Tigres and Estral Esports.
All right, so my initial concern about lacking in the HP department, it is absolutely there, Mark. But Estral do have a lot of threats. I mean, Cody, Ghost, their ability to take down tanks, especially in that mid to late game, cannot be understated. It's just going to require a good amount of coordination and maneuvering from this team to be able to really execute this comp. And I will say, historically, from what we've seen in the LRN, that's been a weakness for them, especially against SDM Tigres. So it would be really cool if they had that character development and, of course, beat SDM in the process. It would be very poetic. So we'll see if they'll be able to execute on that.
True. Here we go. Beatdown. It is officially Cody in the mid lane with the Vayne.
Yep.
Doing his best Cat's impression. Oh, my goodness. Well,
true.
If there's any way to live up to the mantle that the LLA community has affectionately given him, La Farsa, the Chilean faker, this is one way to do it. Give yourself one of the most death-defying and flashy champions in League of Legends history to see if you can pull off some of the most disgusting plays known to mankind. For Estral Esports, I will say beatdown. Because you said that there's not really a strong front line for Estral, if this composition ever falls behind and they just get blitzed, it will be very, very tough for Estral.
Yeah, but one more thing I will say that's in Estral's favor is that while SDM's comp is a good death ball, very clear identity, there's a lot of pressure on VirusFx. He is the only true source of DPS here. Kaisa scales great, is going to be very strong, but when you're working with champions like Vi, Rakan, where it's very easy to get on top of a short-range carry like the Kaisa, if VirusFx isn't careful, he gets killed, that's almost always going to be an instant fight loss. So, a lot of pressure on such a storied player.
Yeah. And for Estral, even if you find the Vayne, you still have to deal with this Aurora and Corki. So, wow, Cody being able to snipe Skyy onto that tower right there. I mean, we talked about it before. In some of those LRM playoff matches, Cody successfully found multiple laning advantages against Skyy. And right now, that laning advantage is going to be exacerbated even further in a devastating one like this.
Yeah,
no way.
That magic damage shield is so fraudulent against something like the Vayne, Cody. Not really counting that 8 seconds very well. Took a tower shot for no reason, but as long as he doesn't get hit by a Justice Punch, no harm, no foul.
does force Skyy to teleport back to mid lane so that he can not fall super far behind in the experience department. Already pretty sizable CS advantage for Cody on the Vayne mid. We'll see if Mataz can give some pressure relieved or try and find a way to punish as a Shintalx. Meanwhile, in the top lane, remember guys, even though he is a sub and he is a content creator, this guy does play a lot of mid lane, and giving him something like an Aurora is definitely a little bit more comforting, especially into a lane like Ksante. So props for Shintalx, finding a much better debut here. As Mataz is found, and Shintalx is there with SolidSnake, but he doesn't have a lot of mana, and with the teleport coming in from Jauny, it's a good call to back off.
Yeah, and I like that Mataz was in the area, just recognizing there was the angle there for SolidSnake. Make sure that Jauny can't get punished right after the teleport, because having his flash blown or losing his life after blowing that would be detrimental to his matchup.
Other than that, Beatdown, it's been a quiet early game so far. Laning has gone, for the most part, the way that we have expected it to. Even with Cody getting the sizable CS advantage, nothing has really broke our expectations. Yeah. Dragon's coming up in the next 15 seconds. I don't know if this is an angle where either Estral or Tigres will be able to find an early one. Skyy, is he? Yeah. Yep. I was about to say he's forced to flash, but Cody is already level 5, and he flashes far with the tumble. That's first blood for Cody on the Vayne.
Solo bolo, Skyy. Ooh, there's just nothing for him to do this matchup, and it's gonna be this game if Cody keeps it up. So really nice pick for Cody. He is maximizing on it beautifully. You can already see a big CS advantage on top of that kill.
Oh, Ichiwin. Crash down shield gives him a little bit of reprieve. The heal comes out. Ichiwin is going to be forced to recall here under the tower. And if I'm not mistaken, that wave is pushing into Ghost and Winsome. Not the ideal stakes for SDM Tigres. SolidSnake going to take this opportunity to look for the first dragon of the game.
And I really like, too, Winsome delaying that back on VODS, guaranteed that SolidSnake would have absolutely no contest here, unless Mataz, who's a level up.
He's in, 800, 600, SolidSnake that secures it now. Mataz surely is forced to flash over the wall or wait for the next cooldown, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. Mataz sent it for the highlight play, and unfortunately, he's the one that looks like a silly goose.
Yeah, honestly, if he got that one, he'd be the GOAT, but really an unnecessary risk. Your bot lane had their back delayed, not in a good wave position overall. There's no one there who's going to help you. And mid lane is just not going your way either. So punished appropriately with the loss of his flash. And it's a bit of a lead there for Estral.
Tigres now working with less flashes than would be ideal for the next objective play, which is going to be Grubs in the next minute and a half time. Got a quick replay. Oh, yeah. Cinematic time.
Yeah. And Skyy realized he was basically cooked as soon as that ward came down. There was an angle where really he could wait to flash the wall and go more towards his tower. But, you know, panic sets in. You realize, oh my god, Vayne's going to kill me. So I need to try and prevent that as best I can. And now Cody's got a 2-level lead and 20 CS up. Good god.
Yeah, this Vayne is going to be a problem if SDM Tigres don't find a way. Hang on, Shintalx might be in a little bit of trouble. All right, well, Shintalx does make it out alive, and Beatdown, I hope it wasn't a caster curse, because the last time we saw him, he was doing just fine pushing Jauny out, but now, suddenly Jauny has a significant CS advantage over the Aurora.
Yeah, oh, and that's actually a really bad backtimer too, because now Jauny crashed the big wave. Means that he's probably going to just be able to maintain this advantage, and this matchup is only going to get harder with the more MR Jauny is stacking. And I like that Winsome is here in the area too, just to give Cody a chance to get this wave in quickly, get up back, and or walk towards the Grubs if he doesn't want to go for that.
Spawning in the next 13 seconds, and have a pause. Oh man. All right. Beatdown?
Yeah.
I know you're over in Toronto.
Yeah.
But I'm extending my hand out to you, brother.
Okay. I hope I'm holding it in the right place. I can't see.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to hope and pray that this will only be one of a couple, if not the only one we will see today. It could just be one.
I also hope it would just be one. So far though, let's you know, not even focus on that subject. Let's talk about what we've seen so far. Estral, pretty solid opening to this game in the lane phase. Yeah, Shintalx starting to fall behind in top side, which doesn't feel good as the Aurora, but I think Cody more than makes up for it. With the solo kill and the enormous CS lead he's going. Oh my god, we're back, thank god.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna knock on wood.
Yeah, me too.
Prage. That's the only one. Void Grubs have now officially spawned. Estral already taking up position over on the top side of the map. Jauny does have teleport if SDM Tigres feel like they can fight, but given the advantages over on Estral's side, I think it is wise to not potentially throw away the stakes of the game early on.
Yeah, this would be an unnecessary. Oh no, this would be an unnecessary risk. So it makes a lot of sense to just allow Estral to be able to get those grubs uncontested. It does hurt though, because you are going to run into some potential issues in the side lane. If Shintalx is going to be able to keep up and be a good side lane duelist, there's that potential for him to split push and get some serious damage down on turrets. I mean, as a team, your ability to siege is so powerful when you get all 3 grubs. So that's something now for the rest of the game SDM Tigres are going to have to deal with.
Very true. And just looking for ways that SDM Tigres are going to have to find a way back into this game, because they're not devastatingly far behind, but lane matchups, at least for anyone that goes into the Vayne, is looking pretty rough, which is why they do have at least VODS, or at some point they'll probably will have VODS go into the Vayne matchup, but I'm not sure if it's the most ideal. Hang on. They find an opportunity. But SolidSnake able to smite away the last grub and get out without even having to burn the flash, since Ichiwin was not able to interrupt that ball breaker.
Nice idea to try and snag that final grub, but unfortunately missed time. So as we were saying, all 3 grubs earned. Estral, I'm pretty happy with this early game going 2 for 2 in terms of collecting objectives. Oh,
things we talked about.
I smell a dive.
And Shintalx does not have flash. He would have to outplay this one only with the power of his Between the Worlds and Across the Veil. We'll see if Shintalx can step up to the plate. But even for a dedicated pro player, this one is hard to do so. So 0-7 to brother Shintalx as he throws out Between Worlds. The flash goes in from Ichiwin as he's taking up the turret shots, but Shintalx actually does buy a bit of time very admirably, but in the end, it is VirusFx with the killer instinct to finish him off, as meanwhile, bot side dive, 4-man play, and it's Jauny that bites the dust.
And this is what I mean by the siege. This play is automatically more effective for Estral because of the 3 grubs that they were able to earn. Already knocked down 2 plates. Cody is working on a 3rd. Really nice response from Estral to the dive on top.
And more credit for Estral. They're able to spoon feed even more gold into Cody as he collects another plate. The kill gold did go over to Ghost. Get a chance to watch the replay on the top side.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, nicely juggled in terms of turret aggro, and I'll give Shintalx some credit. He managed to dodge out on quite a bit, but unfortunately, if it was any champ other than Kaisa, he might have gotten away.
Meanwhile, we get to see a full replay of what happened with the bot lane dive.
Oh, and he got, like, the condemn into the turret. It's just too easy. It's just too easy.
CC layered beautifully by Estral Esports, being able to get the coordination nicely done there on the execute. We are about 15 seconds away from the second dragon of the game. If Estral do claim that, then that would secure for themselves the objective feat. And then they're 1 kill away from Feat of Warfare, and then overall Feats of Strength. So this would really propel Estral up with a very strong early game advantage in this game 1 of this series.
Especially for Cody, who rushed the tier 2 boots, as you often do on Vayne. He'll feel that buff immediately, so something Estral looking forward to very much. But they're going to actually just give up their early position here. Shintalx doesn't have teleport, while Jauny does.
Mataz is on vision here.
What? He is. It's going to be a 50-50 if anything. You don't have numbers as strong.
They look for Ichiwin first, try to blow him up. Mataz flash EQ onto Cody, but he just repositions. Dark Hour is popped, and he's going crazy. In the middle of multiple members, but Cody does not die. La Farsa is smurfing on all of them as Jauny finally finds it with the all-out, but he still can't kill him. VirusFx finally takes him out with the killer instinct, but SolidSnake is throwing hands into Skyy's face. Ghost forced to flash away. SolidSnake has the vault breaker, and it's enough to force SDM back into their jungle.
A 2 for 3 in an when you're down on numbers by Estral. This worked out so nicely, and you're already seeing the value here of this Vayne. And because of that loss, Estral propelled themselves even further ahead of the game, and they will confirm that extra pickup for the feats because they are going to get this dragon.
Yep. Second dragon secured alongside the feat of warfare that was picked up for Estral. Now means that all... Oh, wait a minute. I don't see the... Okay,
look
they
at the
got
boots.
it.
Look at Cody.
Yeah, I see it. I was waiting for the upgrade and it didn't happen right away, and I was panicking. It's like, what?
Yeah. Like,
What
was I wrong? What happened? Did I forget how this game works? No, it's okay, Mark. You're good. You're good.
It happens. Well, SDM Tigres trying to take a post on the top side of the map here. Winsome is forced back. And at least Mataz steals away some chicken nuggets, and maybe the play will be on the top side now that Cody does not have a flash for the next few minutes.
Yeah, but you can see members of Estral recognizing this. Solid and Winsome linking up very nicely to defend the dive, collect what Camp SolidSnake can, and just walk away without much action here. I hope we get a replay of that last fight because it went so nicely for Estral. They're now 2K up. You're seeing that first item come through for Cody and SolidSnake, and it only gets more dangerous from here when we're talking about dealing with a Vayne.
There was a couple times where I was fearing for Cody's life in that fight because he was literally in the middle of multiple members, but just having the faith in being able to navigate, dodge, and weave while popping that final hour and just using the tumble off cooldown. This is how scary it can be, and we're not even at the strongest point of the game yet for Vayne. She only has one item. This champion is going to get even more terrifying with every item spike she gets.
That's not even including Ghost on the Corki, who's also scaling, taking his time, getting to that late game monster he can also be. So it's been a really good opener for Estral. SDM struggling a little bit in terms of a team fighting coordination. Not something we typically see from them, but very present in that last fight. And Estral's comp is one where really can't lack coordination. You need to set up VirusFx for success as best you can, and your target can only be one man. It is Cody.
Very true. He still doesn't have a flash for the next couple of minutes. Probably not something that you can punish at the third dragon, but maybe at this Rift Herald coming up in the next 45 seconds here. As Shintalx has popped between worlds, and Jauny is in trouble. Ghost is going to intercept him as SolidSnake tries to lock him down, gets in range with the cease and desist, and the kill credit does go over to Shintalx's pockets.
I do respect Jauny holding on to the flash, recognizing that he is dead, and no response play available for SDM as well. So a kill for free and more gold into your pockets, always a good thing. SDM going to try and take some advantage to place some forward vision. This should give them a little bit better of a setup for this Rift Herald in 10 seconds, but otherwise, still worth it for Estral.
Very true.
Oh, Skyy. Oh, Skyy.
Should be okay. There's no cease and desist.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Skyy will be able to at least walk it out. He did not have flash available, but he is okay. And because SolidSnake was spotted on the bottom side of the map, that does give Tigres a little bit of breathing room and the freedom to secure this Rift Herald without any challenge.
Yeah, and I like that Estral went for that play just because you have Cody on that other side of the map. I think you're okay to give up this Herald. It's not going to be, barring a catastrophic team fight for Estral, I don't think SDM will be able to use this Herald to secure a great amount of gold. The big hope for them is that you use it to try and get yourself a better position on Dragon so that you can prevent the soul point from going through. Estral getting that, it would just give them so much more of an advantage.
Minute and 20 seconds away from the third dragon of the game here, Beatdown. VODS throwing out some cute emotes, making the game still positive vibes for the Tigres. A reminder for anyone from the LRM playoffs, there were scenarios where Estral Esports, even with the intended starting roster, they had strong early advantages like this going into third dragon and Otacon fight timers. And that is where the wheels fell off the wagon for this team, and Tigres were able to surpass them in team fights. I'm cautiously optimistic that might not be the case here this time for Estral, because even though it is a different roster for the most part, Cody is very, very strong on this Vayne right now. And the fact that you can deter some attention away from Ghost, who now has a chance to play more freely because Tigres is so concerned about trying to lock down this Vayne, it opens up space for multi-threat composition to succeed.
Yeah, and it's even better too for Cody because he got his flash back. He wasn't able to be punished by SDM Tigres. So now Estral going to very comfortably clear out some vision here. There could be a response, but I think unless Virus is ready to pull the trigger, there's no fight that can be had. So instead, it is the pre-dragon setup with the Herald, like we called.
Okay, well, the Ghost does force out Winsome. Hang on, Mataz finds SolidSnake with the EQ flash. That forces Solids to flash away as well. Cody, don't think he's popped the ultimate just yet. Here comes Between World Shintalx being able to ult in as well. Mataz throws out the Cataclysm, trying to separate the fight, but Skyy's the first one to drop. Jauny completely separated from his teammates because Virus is out of the fight. There's no more damage left. It's all out retreat from the Tigres, and Estral take to the skies as they find the fight, and now this third dragon belongs to them.
And it looked like SolidSnake was caught out, but it was bait all along. Soul point on the Infernal Soul for Estral, and this game just continues to get more difficult for SDM.
And Cody even TPing to the top side of the map so that he can collect the wave, maybe even pressure for that tower if Skyy cannot get back up on the map and teleport to defend it in time. Looks like Skyy is just taking the long walk. So Estral now moving to almost a 5,000 gold advantage with 3 dragons on their side. This is the best opener we have seen from Estral Esports against Tigres in recent history.
Yeah, and it really goes to show you too how well they played out that team fight, because Virus is actually ahead of pretty much everyone else. He had that second item before anyone else around that dragon fight, but he got focused down like this.
Virus, just one more rocket. Oh, not enough damage, just barely on a sliver of HP. Now Ichiwin has to make it out alive. Virus tries to sidestep the Quill, but can't sidestep auto attacks. And Estral being able to pick up another kill here just in time as they are getting ready for the Otacon in just a minute time.
Oh, and Mataz.
Condemn over the wall, cease and desist. I don't even think a taunt from Skyy is going to save them. And now Cody is looking for his next kill as he's diving with the rest of Estral. Winsome taking the turrets so that they can secure it. Estral are steamrolling the Tigres.
Nicely done from Estral, really working to exercise those demons, and SDM trying to get a response.
They get nothing there, Beatdown, other than Shintalx popping the ultimate, but that is totally okay for Estral's game state. 6,000 gold ahead right before the Otacon.
Yeah, and such a powerful position as well. You know Cody's going to finish that back because he's sitting on so much gold. And once that gold is spent, and once gold's able to lock in those tier 3 boots, excuse me, and Estral have everything they need to start this Otacon. SDM, you don't want to let this objective go, but you are simply not in a position to fight it out. The fact is, if you die and lose Otacon, the game is effectively over.
And with the 2 item spikes that the main carries of Estral Esports have recently reached, it's not just the Muramana fully stacked up for Ghost. It is a Hex Plate from Cody. So not only this guy is a threat, but he's also a little bit beefier than normal Vaynes you might expect.
He's also fast as hell, boy.
Yeah.
Move speed you get casting your ultimate, that final hour is going to be so much more oppressive. And I like that Estral, they're setting up deep vision. They're trying to see who they can pick out, but they know this bottom side of the jungle is entirely theirs.
And Tigres, I think, are just going to have to concede the Otacon here unless they are willing to risk it for the entire game. I know it has worked for them in the past, but I don't think a gold lead was this devastating in previous encounters with Estral Esports.
No, certainly not. Now, and this side of the map is dark, so much so that Jauny has to check with his body to ensure that the Otacon is not being done. It's just stalling tactics for SDM Tigres right now because you are just waiting for another breakpoint there for Virus. The hope that your tanks can get a little beefier so they can last longer in these team fights, because it feels like in a lot of these engages, you get close to killing Ghost, you get close to killing Cody, but it isn't quite enough, and your tanks don't last.
Yeah. Yeah, what a wild ride this first game has been. Definitely not what we were expecting when we came into this best of 5, but really impressive for Estral to find a very cool opening identity to this series. And even if Estral carry out this game win, I'm curious what Estral can do to continue to replicate something like this formula going forward into the rest of the best of 5. Because we're in Fearless, you don't get to play Vayne mid every single game beatdown.
For sure. I mean, the Vayne mid, getting such an early advantage is definitely a factor. But overall, Estral, I said it, this comp does require a good degree of coordination, something we haven't seen very much of in the previous matches against SDM Tigres, which was why they lost from advantageous gold states like this. So the fact that they are executing now, very promising. The fact that they would be able to win in this comp in such a way would be really nice, considering how these past matchups have gone as well.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that Estral Esports have put in the work to try and finesse that coordination a lot better than what they were showing in the playoffs. Estral now grouping up 4 on the bottom side. Shintalx continuing to split push and apply pressure through the top side. No one from Tigres is responding yet, so Estral, they don't even have to pull the trigger yet on this Otacon because there's just a soul to play for, and that is the guaranteed objective that you can use to force yourself. But Shintalx now joining the fight as he teleports mid lane, because Estral are going to want all hands on deck for the Infernal Soul.
That's right. It's not even about the Otacon. Everyone's looking at the dragon. Nobody wants to start that Infernal objective. They're just dancing around it to ensure a good opportunity for either side doesn't get started. But it's Estral who start the Drake, and they just want to burst this one down. They will kill it quickly.
Positioning. He's ready for a flank angle. Pops the Between the Worlds, even if he doesn't kill anyone. But they get them all as Mataz and Ichiwin are the first ones to drop. SolidSnake goes in, cease and desist for the greater team as the double mark opposition flies through the backline. VODS trying to turn the tides of the fight as he finds SolidSnake, but it's a flash from Cody, and Shintalx working hand in hand as VODS looks for the killing blow, but cannot take out Cody. The ace comes through for Estral, and the Infernal Soul is claimed.
It was so close. He autoed Shintalx instead of getting the final auto on Cody. But either way, it wouldn't have changed much. Still overwhelming victory for Estral, who have now claimed that Infernal Soul. This game has gotten so much closer to unwinnable.
And major props to the sub in Shintalx finding a beautiful flank angle, waits patiently for 3 members of Tigres to step up, throws out Between the Worlds. I was getting ready to say that even if he doesn't kill anyone, that major burst damage is enough to just make Tigres no longer able to enter to the choke point. And then he coordinates with Ghost to pop a couple of them right off the entry point. Just beautiful teamwork from Estral Esports in this game 1.
Yeah, I will say, though, the only thing to be concerned about as Estral fans, you're seeing examples of what Kaisa can do at this stage of the game. 3 items. VODS almost made something happen. So if SDM play their cards right, there is always that angle. You have so much engage across the rest of your team. It's just about whether or not they can actually get on top of someone like Cody or Ghost. Cody preferably. If you insta-kill Cody, you do have a chance still to come back into this game. But 8K down, Baron being taken, it's not going to be easy.
Mataz has flash. Can he get in range? It's already 1600. It ain't happening. SolidSnake secures the Baron. SolidSnake now trying to look forward as Ichiwin dives into the backline with the Magnet Storm. SolidSnake in the 1v1 throws up, cease and desist on VODS. He repositions with the Killer Instinct, but Cody's just firing bolt after bolt, and Ghost is right there with him. The double marksman working hand in hand as Estral Esports wipe the floor with SDM Tigres, and they're going to push into the base for the game win.
It's just too easy. We got 40 seconds on big carries for SDM. I don't think they're going to be able to close it out, but an inhibitor is certain to fall down. And even if Estral don't win yet, it's only a matter of time.
It is now a staggering 10,000 gold advantage for Estral Esports. We normally considered this in the business a point of no return for any competitive game. And Tigres are literally now down to their last legs in this opener of the series.
Yeah, the only thing left is the Otacon, which, you know, unusually made it to 26 minutes into the game.
That is crazy.
Again, Estral recognizing Dragon Soul and Baron are the real game winners here, and they have collected both of them. Worth noting, too, that last fight, especially by the end, Estral sitting on so much gold. Well, Mark, they've spent it. So if you thought this game was hard, now it's really hard.
It is indeed very, very, very difficult for Tigres to try and find a saving grace. Otacon has been started up by Estral Esports. Mataz, no flash available. It'll be a one-way trip if he tries to look for the steal. 900, it's secured by Estral Esports. And Tigres better run. I don't think this is the time to throw down for a fight.
No, sir.
As you noted, Beatdown, Elder Dragon is 3 minutes away. Can Tigres stall out enough for a lifeline as Winsome does get popped there? Shintalx threw out the Between the Worlds. He was concerned for his teammate. It's okay. Tigres, at least for themselves, they have popped one ultimate from Estral Esports.
Yeah, and Estral playing this one out as a death ball, all 5 into the bottom lane because they know SDM will have to answer mid lane. Super minions, eventually, by already seeing Skyy walk away to answer that wave. As Estral, they're just trying to whittle their way down towards getting this tier 2 turret. Not the best spread or use of Baron buff, but at the end of the day, they are so strong. The grouping up is just so that if they get one more fight, they win.
Still trying to make the use of their Baron buff. Estral Esports slowly pounding away at this tier 2 turret. Skyy waiting behind Vision as he does have the hero's entrance. Some decent damage coming out from Estral Esports with the Infernal Soul on their side. But to the credit of the Tigres, they have not been broken in yet.
No, I will say though, what few opportunities Tigres have left are closing. Cody about to get his flash up any moment now. Ghost's gonna get his very soon too. So there's really only 2 options for you to get to win these team fights as SDM. Somehow immediately kill Cody, and the secondary target is Ghost. But the actual chances of that happening are vanishingly small. But Mataz won the mental battle, guys. Jungle div.
At this point in the game, you got to take any W's you can get.
Hell yeah.
Mental, as you're not doing a 1-game race. It is a potential 5-game marathon that you've got to keep up the mental energy for. We're about 1 minute and 12 seconds away from the Elder Dragon, the one potential saving grace that could turn everything around for the Tigres if they manage to find a miracle steal. But if Estral play this out right, they won't even have the chance to get that miracle. That's a lot of damage on the Jauny, and he is one of their tanks, so that is not a good sign for the Tigres.
No, and that tier 2 turret bot lane will finally go down. Jauny has the back. You gotta imagine that next wave means some potential damage to the inhibitor turret, but instead, Estral, they back away. It's 30 seconds. Any last second backs you want, they have to happen immediately. And it means that whatever last bit of gold that they want to be spending is going to happen now. Ghost, you're scaring me a little. I don't like this. He is so alone. But do they know that?
Yeah, that is the main question. If Tigres knew that Ghost was alone, I'd expect the full cavalry just being sent for this guy. Yeah. He does have... Actually, does he not have flash available?
Not yet.
No, it's like, not yet. Soon. Okay, coming up in a few seconds here. Oh, Skyy does catch it. Wait, no way, Cody!
They got him! They got him! You're joking!
Okay, you still have Ghost in the backline, but Virus is gonna have to pull off a miracle. Cease and desist comes in through, and that's the main carry gone. Even with Cody taking on the original fight, Estral Esports still rise to the occasion and blast away any last hopes that the Tigres had. Quadra kill comes in for Ghost, and that's game 1 wrapped up in the books.
That's all she wrote. So much pressure on Virus, but SDM could not make it work. Estral coming in clutch with the Vayne mid pick in game 1.
You can see just the overwhelming, I don't want to say disappointment, but it was the moment of hope. Oh no, wait, death moment. Okay, hang on. We gotta take out the inhibitor, folks.
It's fine.
But there's still death timers coming in for the Tigres. Yeah, it's not gonna happen in time. Estral, game 1 goes to them.
Got a little funny for a second, but still a really nice first win here for Estral Gaming. The fact that they were able to pull out the Vayne mid on that R5, play a very coordinated, coordination-heavy composition is such a great look for them.
That was such a fun way to open up this series. And
Yeah.
just like that, a light has appeared at the end of the tunnel for Estral Esports. There is hope on the horizon yet in amongst the roster that they have to field. They made it work, Beatdown. And credit to Shintalx, obviously. Tough laning phase experience after Jauny was able to get some levels for himself there in that Ksante versus Aurora matchup, and not always easy to be focused on the side lane, but a couple times he was able to escape. And then in that fourth dragon fight, that was so crucial. His positioning with the Aurora flank and being able to set that up, it just major props to Estral Esports being able to, within the limited time they have, to come up with a solid composition identity to answer into the Tigres for this game one.
Yeah, it's a really great look. But to your earlier point, Mark, what else do you have? Because this combination of champs was great, but it's fearless. So those 5 champs are out of the series.
Very true, Beatdown. And if Estral Esports were able to show this, I'm hopefully optimistic that they've got more fun stuff left in the tank. And for the Tigres, we'll have to see if they have what it takes to be able to rebound right after this break.